Very busy weekend for the Milwaukee Brewers and couldn't wait for Monday. Let's get to it right now and some of the moves that the Brewers have made this weekend. That's next here on a special weekend edition of Locked On Brewers.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yeah, I know the NCAA basketball tournament is going on, and it's, in fact, happening right here in Milwaukee with two games coming up later on today. The place is packed. That's going to be sold out. But, hey, you know, the Milwaukee Brewers on our minds because the Brewers open up on Thursday, and we knew this was going to be a busy weekend. And let's get down to it and some of the moves that the Brewers did make today. Good to have you along. Chuck Freeman, Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Can't wait to Thursday. Man, looking forward to the start of the season. And here's some of the weekend moves the Brewers have made already. And this thing is very fluid, very fluid. And I wanted to wait until after Murphy talked with the media on Sunday to get something out to you guys for this afternoon. Tyler Black has not made the team. Had a terrible spring, bat at 152 at spring. And I think a lot of you thought maybe he could win he was never going to play third base, but maybe a backup first base role. Sounds like he's not going to be the guy either. Caleb Durbin, who it looked for a while that Durbin was going to make this team. It really did, that he was going to earn a spot. They gave him a lot of playing time. He got 59 at bats, showed to have an adequate glove over there. Couldn't hit. Batted 250. 250 on the year. I mean, when I say adequate glove, I thought at times actually with Durbin, it was a little bit below adequate. I got to walk that back a little bit. What the Brewers do have with Dunn is a very adequate glove. With Durbin, I think they needed to get him some more seasoning. And I said this right at the top, that they needed to get him some more seasoning. And it looked like he was going to make the team as the right-handed bat over at third base. But the glove, I would say, maybe a little bit below average right now. Not saying that can improve, but gave him plenty of opportunity in the spring. In fact, he got the most at-bats out of anybody in spring training. So what this move clears, we've talked about so many options over at third base. It sounds to me, the way it looks right now, barring a move, a trade, Oliver Dunn is going to be the third baseman against lefties or against righties. And Vinny Capra has made this team. Vinny Capra was told a short time ago, a couple of minutes before we're going on the air here, that he was making the team. He has made the roster. So it appears Vinny Capra will be part of the righty-lefty combination, the platoon over at third base, as of Sunday afternoon with Oliver Dunn. Dunn and Vinny Capra. Capra's cooled off a little bit since that hot start. Team seems enamored with him. We talked about he didn't have any options. I don't think that's any reason to keep a guy when he doesn't have any options left. I don't know what kind of market there was out there for Vinny Capra. If there would have been another team that would have picked him up, probably so. Maybe the Brewers felt that way, and sometimes you get enamored with the guy and feel you're going to keep him. And Vinny Capra right now, because he doesn't have any options, they feel that he's the option right now over at third base. So you got Oliver Dunn and Capra. I guess I thought maybe earlier in the week it'd be Monasterio and Dunn. Monasterio got shipped out. So, and then it appeared that Durbin and Dunn were going to be the guys. And now it appears Dunn and Capra. I really believe, though, that third base spot is going to be very fluid this season. Remember last year, Dunn won the spot at third base. And Ortiz ended up taking over there. So, if you're against this, and again, I don't really like either option over at third base, to be honest with you. I was hoping the Brewers were going to do better. And this is no disrespect to either Dunn or Capra, but an important spot over at third base. And who are the Brewers who are they running with? Oliver Dunn and Vinny Capra over at third base. That's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. That's where we're at. If they were going to go that route, I would almost rather have seen them try to grow with Durbin, but they feel that obviously that he's not ready. I didn't think he was ready either. But Vinny Capra, we'll see. We'll see how they run with this. Again, I don't think this is long-term by any means. When I say long-term, I'm taking that week by week, that situation over at third. So that's the way that looks over at third base. Now, Jake Bauers, who hit an opposite field home run the other day against the lefty. He appears to be the guy who's going to make this team as a backup. Now, he can opt out of his minor league deal if he draws interest from another team. If there's another team out there interested, he could opt out of this deal with the Milwaukee Brewers. That's as of Sunday. But looks like right now, Jake Bauers, as he was last year, maybe another piece in the outfield if they need, and we saw him play outfield, but it's going to be the left-handed bat off the bench and to play some first base. We'll see. But after all these moves, it's become clear Jake Bauers has made it over Tyler Black. And in any other options, Mark Canha got shipped out. We keep signing Mark Canha and then trading him. I don't know. I just like Mark Canha. They traded him to Kansas City for the old controversial player to be named later. One of those moves. So Mark Canha gets dealt to Kansas City. Brewers obviously feel with Bauers they need a left-handed bat to complement Reese over there. I want Reese playing every day. I want Hoskins playing every day. But it appears as of right now that Bauers is going to make this team. A couple of other guys who made this team. One that didn't. One that appears is going to make this team. And is Quintana. Is Quintana going to be ready for the start of the season? We'll talk about that coming up next on this edition of Locked On Brewers. Good to have you along on this weekend edition of Locked On Brewers. Chuck Freeman, your host. It's lousy outside here in Wisconsin. We got snow moving in, and we got Brewers baseball, and just a ton of news here that's happened today. And that's where we're breaking in with a special Sunday edition of Locked On Brewers. Give you something to talk about and watch today. If you these basketball games, these NCAA tournament games don't go until later on, and I know Wisconsin always does well. The national ratings, Wisconsin is one of the best in the country as far as NCAA viewership. So maybe catch this before you start watching the games a little bit later on today. I know some are going on, but I want to get this out to you. Just Ingredients. When it comes to fueling your body, quality matters. That's why Just Ingredients is changing the game with clean, high-quality products designed to support better health and peak performance. Just Ingredients offers NSF certified line protein powder, electrolytes, pre-workout, and creatine, all rigorously tested to ensure they're free from substances banned by major athletic organizations. The guy like Bryce Harper is going to use them, and you see what Bryce puts into his body and all that. That's a good thing. He's a two-time MVP. If he puts this in your body, he knows that he trusts it. And he trusts NSF certified sports line to fuel his training and recovery. Clean ingredients, transparent ingredients, fuel. It's going to fuel your body, and that's what you need to do. You always need to fuel your body if you're working out. You can't starve yourself. You can't starve your body. You got to fuel your body, and you can do that with Just Ingredients. Visit justingredients.us and use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. When you use that promo code LOCKEDONMLB, you're going to get 20% off. And for more wellness tips, by the way, go to Instagram, just.ingredients. That's at just.ingredients on Instagram. Again, quality matters. What you put in your body, Just Ingredients. It's changing the game. High quality products, clean, and nothing bad in there for you whatsoever. It's all good. They support better health and peak performance with Just Ingredients. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers. Just Locked On Brewers as well, providing with you quality substance for your body. By the way, you got our podcast on Google, Spotify, Apple, wherever you download your audio podcasts. We are there talking Brewers baseball with you 5 days a week. In this case, 6 days a week, dropping a weekend episode to talk a little Brewers baseball with you, with all the moves the Brewers have made here in the last 24 hours. And there's just so many of them that want to catch you all up with them before we drop our next episode coming up on Monday. So we got the news about Tyler Black. Again, Caleb Durbin didn't surprise me at all. I was surprised that he initially made the roster. I was like, yeah, the guy's not hitting. And turns out he didn't make the team after all. Manny Margot, I told you this last week. I didn't think he was going to make the team. He's been released, and since then he's been picked up by the Detroit Tigers. So that was a quick turnaround. Margot did not make the team, the one-time Minnesota Twin. His numbers in recent years down. I didn't know how Margot fit into this anyway. That was kind of odd for me to see that. Released, not surprised that he did not make the team. Connor Thomas has been told the Rule 5 pick. He is making the team. Connor Thomas is going to be on this team as a Rule 5 pick on this team. We've seen guys who've been Rule 5 picks that haven't lasted past May. We'll see. Connor Thomas, I like him. I do like him. I think that he could add something to this team. I really believe so. The one-time St. Louis Cardinals. So I like that move. And by the way, just before coming on, I saw Mitch Haniger. Mitch Haniger was released by Seattle. Now the Brewers have enough outfielders, but he was due like $15 million or so on his deal. Mitch Haniger released by Seattle. Interesting. If I was looking for outfield help, I would love to have Mitch Haniger. I've always liked the guy. Quality player, good at bats with the Mariners, released by Seattle. Again, that just happened just moments before I was setting up shop to come on here. It got an alert that said that Mitch Haniger was released by Seattle. So, and it said he was due about $15 million. So that's interesting. Quintana, update on Quintana. Went 3 innings on Saturday, and he's going to make a minor league appearance on Thursday. Obviously, the Brewers will be playing at the major league level at Yankee Stadium, but he's going to be making a minor league appearance on Thursday. Now, he says he might be ready for the second series against Kansas City, which would mean opening day, but sounds like more so it might be the series after that, but we'll find out. But Quintana's building himself up, which is great. Love to see him pitch on the home opener against Kansas City a week from Monday. Doesn't sound like that is going to be the case. He said he might be ready for it, but seems like maybe that Colorado series, the road trip the following week, he could be ready for it. One other note, Uribe, according to Adam McCalvey from Brewers.com, Uribe is going to make the team. Now, he's got that 4-game suspension looming over his head, and it sounds like the Brewers are just, instead of playing the waiting game on that, they might go with one less player. Uribe going to serve that suspension right away to start the season. So we'll see on that. But it's, according to Adam McCalvey, that 4-game suspension, they want to get that out of the way. So Uribe is going to make the team and sit out those 4 games right away and then go on. And I see both sides of it. Certainly that's a pretty cool thing that they're going to put him on and get it out of him. So it's not hanging over the Brewers. I don't know if it's a cool thing, but it's get it out, serve your 4 games, and let's get on with Uribe, who I think is going to have a breakout season with the Milwaukee Brewers. I think he is. Got closer stuff. He throws hard. Just was a weird season for him last year with the knee injury and the knee surgery and the bench clearing thing that he got involved in. One other note, Nestor Cortez, who's scheduled to start game 2 against the Yankees, His wife is due to have a baby, and his wife is down in Miami. Now, you never know, obviously, when she's going to have the baby. So he is on watch right now. So paternity leave is on the agenda for Nestor Cortez. Again, his wife is down in Miami. Could be a few weeks away. Who knows? But as of right now, it looks like to be a few weeks away. And he's scheduled right now to make that Game 2 start against the Yankees. But, all the best for Nestor Cortez and a healthy baby for he and his wife. And the paternity leave is probably on the agenda sometime in April for Nestor Cortez. Again, as we all know, who have had kids, you just never know. You just never know when that call is going to happen. So, but that's a good thing. And there's a cool picture on the internet I saw with Nestor and his wife, and the newborn showing. So that's an awesome deal. All right, that's going to do it for Locked On Brewers. Hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in here on the weekend. Thank you very much for tuning in here on the weekend on Locked On Brewers. Just wanted to get all these things out to you all the moves the Brewers have made. And by Monday, when we come back here and talk Locked On Brewers, there could be some other moves. But just want to catch you up to date with the latest that's going on with the Milwaukee Brewers. Sounds like the platoon situation again. Not Andrew Monasterio as of right now for opening day. Although who knows, that could change. Vinny Capra and Oliver Dunn. Who would have landed on that when the season ended last November? I'm sorry. That's right. They didn't play in the November. Last October. Who would have landed on Oliver Dunn and Vinny Capra as your platoon over at third base? We'll see how that works out short term. Chuck Freeman. Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Have yourself a great rest of your Sunday.